Hello there. You are on to the M2M Session podcast. We raise kings to embrace their masculinity and amplify their influence in the society. Welcome. The M2M Session podcast is about to begin.
Hello. Welcome to another amazing episode of M2M Session podcast. I remain your amazing host, AI. Now, we just finished an amazing relationship and personal development series titled How I Met My Wife. And I want to crave your indulgence that if in case you didn't listen to every single episode of that podcast, or maybe you didn't listen to any of the episode at all, please go back and listen to it. It will definitely do you a whole lot of good. Trust me, it will. And I have a recommendation for you from someone I respect so much, because you see, some of the things that we covered in that podcast episode, we covered how to find your life partner. We also covered healing from abusive relationship. We also covered faithfulness and fidelity in marriage. We also covered anger management. We also covered availability as a father. You will also learn finance and romance. You will also learn in-law management. You will also learn preventing domestic violence. You will also learn pressure management. We also spoke about sexual discipline. You also have connecting and building with your sons. We also have settling arguments as well as balancing career and family time. So someone I respect so much, by the time she saw the outline and she listened to it, wow, she was quite impressed. And she told me, I thought that this series would be just beneficial to single men alone. But after seeing and listening to what has been shared, it will definitely be beneficial to even married men as well. So please listen to it. If you're single and you have married friends, share it with them. Okay, it will do them a whole lot of good. Alright, so let me start by sharing a story with us. And that's the story of King Dave. King Dave. It's a very short story. Now it was springtime and battle time as well. And King Dave decided that he will not go for battle on this particular period. And while he was taking a walk around the palace, he observed over the roof of the palace into a house quite a distance from him, and he saw a lady while she was taking a bath. And then he requested that she should be brought to him. By the time the guards went to her house, they discovered that her husband was not around. She was all alone at home. And they escorted her down to the palace to meet the king. Now, when she went into the presence of the king decided that he wants to sleep with her. And he had his way. Few weeks later, she was pregnant. Now I'll come back to this particular story. Okay? I'll definitely come back to this particular story. But you see, A lot of us right now, we are using the weather, the cold season, spring, as an excuse to actually have sex. So today's podcast episode, we are going to be talking about sex, and it's titled SEX-Timony. Alright, so I want to begin by asking you people a question. And that question is, the life that you're living right now, where you're probably having sex with whoever you want to have sex with. Or probably you're watching pornography without control, masturbating. Are you comfortable with that life? Are you happy with the way that things are? Maybe you're in a relationship and you just can't control yourself to the point that you are already sleeping with other girls and you're cheating on your girlfriend. Are you happy with that life? Because if you are, then you shouldn't be listening to me right now. This episode is not for people who are comfortable. If you're comfortable, if that's the life you want to live, if you enjoy that sex-trifying life, then go ahead. But if you are not comfortable with it, if you're probably looking for a way to put a control to your sexual appetite, to put a control to your addictions, sexual addictions, then without indulgence, we can continue. Because you see, it's no news that I struggled with pornography, and it's also no news that I struggled with masturbation. I wouldn't want to get into the details of that because I already have some podcast episodes where I spoke about my struggles to pornography and my struggles to masturbation, and also did some teachings on how you can come out and break free of it. I have some persons who had reached out, and I'm currently speaking with them and helping them, and I'm glad that there are some improvements. We've seen some improvements in their lives. They are no longer as addicted as they were before. So you see, while I was preparing for this particular episode, I remembered, and I would like to share with you, I remembered that some time ago, I was in a party, I was in a fix. I had invited a friend over. It was just a casual visit. And when she was about leaving, we got physical. Now, when I mean we got physical, like, we started kissing, started kissing, and before you know it, we were naked. Now, she was actually asking me, to go in, like, for my penis to penetrate her vagina. But I did not. No, I did not. Why didn't I? And why did we do what we did? There are two things in that story. Now, you see, I started by telling us about how most of you use weather as a reason to have, But trust me, weather was not the reason. And today I'm going to be exposing why most of us take the actions and the decisions that we take as it concerns sex. So how come that harmless visit turned into a romantic affair? And how come I was able to stop myself? Please, you're not listening to a perfect guy. Let me just debunk your mind, just in case you think that, oh, I have it all figured out. Just in case you think that, oh, I am a saint. I know how to control myself 100%. You're not speaking to a perfect guy. You're speaking to someone who has made terrible mistakes. Terrible mistakes and regrettable mistakes. And you're speaking to somebody who is still vulnerable. I am as vulnerable as the word V. I won't go around saying, I will never do this, I can never do this. No. I am human, I have blood, I have emotions. Anything can happen. So even as careful as I am, I know I can still make that mistake. I'm a helped man. I can tell you boldly, I am a helped man. I've made lots of mistakes, but have been helped. I would probably make some mistakes in the future, but I am helped, and I'll still be helped, and I'm not afraid of asking for help. Because you see, everybody may want help, but not everybody would get help. Because there are three reasons why people may not get help. Number one, not many people would reach out for help. Number two, not many persons would follow through on the instructions and the due diligence that is required and necessary to deliver the specifications of help. And number three, not many persons would give feedback and evaluation as to the actions that they took in response to the help that was received. So when I say I am a helped man, it means that I acknowledge and I am committed to doing these three things. Number one, I'm committed to reaching out whenever I need help. Number two, I am committed to doing and taking the necessary actions according to the specifications of help that is required for that particular situation. And number three, I am committed to giving feedback and evaluate the situation so that just in case the recommendation of help was not suitable and I am still in need of further help, I would make myself available to receive. So, you see, what's interesting about what I just shared about myself is that whenever I think about it, that's not the first girl, and she's not the second girl, or should I say lady. She's not the first, and she's not the second person that we've probably had a romantic engagement with, gone physical, stripped, And even when they were, begging and saying, come in, I refused. So, number one, you see that. If you recall, let's start with the reason why it happened before we get to the reason why I didn't do it. If you recall from the story I shared with you earlier on about King Dave, it was while he was walking in the palace that he noticed the young lady taking her bath. But the question is, how come he stood there and he kept on watching her till the point that he sent for her? It's all in our mind. This thing starts first of all in our minds when we stay on that thought. And I'll be plain with you. At one point, I was just having a casual conversation with a young lady, and before you knew it, we started having sex chat. How we moved into the sex chat is what I don't understand. It was just a casual, hi, how are you? How are you feeling? What's going on? Why can't you sleep? And before you knew, she started sending nude pictures. Oh, I saw it the first time. I should have probably deleted it and say, hey, don't send it to me. But guess what? I indulged. Because even prior to that time, I had already been conceiving such thoughts. And that's for one of them. The other person, it was just a casual video call. We were just talking. And after talking, we just made a video call. And unknown to me that the young girl, because she was even the one that prompted the video call. Unknown to me that on the other side of the video call, she was wearing just bra. And in that video call, the other person, it was sex chat. In their video call, we were sex talking. We were what? Sex talking. Now, I should have ended that call, but no, I did not. I indulged. And I stayed on that call. That's where it starts. And why did I stay on that call? Why? Because there had already been thoughts. As guys, we usually see girls and we admire them. And we admire them to the point that we stay in that admiration, and that admiration transcends and graduates into mental affections. Oh, your affections are first of all mental before emotional. So the things that happen physically, they are responses to this mental build-up. So they are responses to this mental build-up. And we know when it starts. But the issue is, we don't stop it when it begins. We allow it. So, let me say this. Whenever you say you don't know how it happened, some of you even go the extra mile to see it was the devil's handwork. Hey, shut up. Keep quiet. It was not the devil anything. It was you, me. Yes, it was us. It happened because we allowed it to happen. You see that king? You see King David that had sex with the lady? What thoughts do you think were coming into his mind while he was staring at her? I mean, this young lady was innocently taking her bath. He obviously looked the first time and he liked what he saw. Oh guys, you should have just walked away. But the king did not walk away. He stayed. And he observed, he admired. After admiring, he now took action and said, okay, please bring her for me. For him to even go the extra mile to even call his servant, it means he has accepted that thought had formed. And I will say this, your life goes according to the flow of your predominant thoughts. Your life goes according to the flow of your predominant thoughts. So he stayed on that thought. It was not because, remember I told you that it was because of, it was in the spring season, but it was not the weather. So let's stop using weather as an excuse for sex. No, we had sex because we wanted to. Yes, we did it because we wanted to do it. For the period that we cheated, we did it because we wanted to do it. It was not the devil anything. No, it was you. Because you knew when that thought started. And you knew when you should have ended it, but no, you indulged. You knew when you invited her. Oh, let's be real with ourselves. Even though we would have said, okay, nothing would have happened, but what did you put in place to ensure that nothing will happen? Didn't you think about it that when she comes over to visit you, something might happen? Why? I mean, look at me. With those two scenarios I mentioned about myself, yeah, I should have sat down with myself and told myself the truth and say, guy, this girl where you want to go see, because of course one of them I went to see her, the other one came to see me. This girl where you want to go see, guy, something fit happen, oh. Something fit happen. And I shouldn't just have spoken to myself alone. I have a covenant brother. I should have obviously spoken to him also before going to see her. But what happened? I spoke to him after. And it's a place of course, speaking with him after, is also accountability. Because I thought I could handle it. I thought I could handle it. Imagine if I spoke with him before. That guy would have been checking up on me and reminding me. But no. Do you now see why I say that these things happen because we want it to happen? Trust me, a part of me wanted it to happen. That's why I did not speak to him before. Because I know if I had spoken to him before, it wouldn't have happened. Same thing with the other girl when she came to visit. If I sent him a meet and say, guy, how far more? This girl they come, see what is on my mind, now waiting I did think be this, so he would have actually helped me to debunk that thought before it happened. Oh, see, right now for myself, I'm on a personal commitment to ensuring that it doesn't even go beyond the thoughts. Trust me, I did not get here to this point. Have made mistakes. Oh, having sex was, back then. Don't think back then is far. When I say back then, don't be thinking of 10, 20 years old. Back then, having sex was, I heard of a particular city where they don't consider sex as anything. To them, in fact, if you travel to go and visit your friend and your friend is married, your friend would entertain you with his wife. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. So see, things are happening in this our world. Things are happening in this our world. There's another culture that before you even get married, you must have sex with the auntie. Okay, so like I was saying, for me to have gotten, see, somebody would listen to me and be like, you not have sex, and so what? You not penetrate. I know where I came from. Like, I know my journey personally. So for me, someone listening to it may not be an accomplishment, but to me, that's a milestone ticked. Oh, it is discipline number one. That okay, have been able to put a boundary on that aspect. We will not go further. Now, the next one I want to do is we won't even go further from the mindset. Nothing like romance, no kissing, nothing. It will end after hugging, that's all. Whatever. Kai, let me share this. It happened once. There was once that I got to that point and I was able to hold myself. I was with the girl, and after hugging, there was some staring. We started staring, and we were already leaning to kiss, but I withdrew, and I said, no. That's where I'm getting to, and I'll get there soon. Oh, it happened. Nothing. We didn't even kiss. See, sexual discipline is possible. It's very, very possible. It's very possible. Sorry. It is possible to even stop yourself before you even begin the romance, so that it will not lead to something else. Because trust me, once you start kissing, it will lead to something else. So don't go and say you will only kiss and then nothing. It's a lie. Hey, in case you don't know, these ladies, we were naked. Hey. Oh, okay. So that somebody would not think that okay, the reason why I did not penetrate was because I did not have protection. It's a lie. I had condom. This is M2M session, so we are gonna be raw, man. We are gonna be raw. I had condom. There was nothing stopping me apart from myself. So I would not say I don't know how it happened. Because if I say I don't know how it happened, no, that would be lying to you. I know how it happened. I know how I got to that stage. And if I follow through with the same processes, I would shift the boundary. I've been able to create a boundary. I'll shift the boundary closer to the. Don't worry. This same podcast, I will come back here and I'll tell you that okay, this and this and this, and this encounters, and we were about to kiss and we not kiss, nothing happened. That's all. I'm sharing this with you so that you know that these things are possible. Sexual discipline is possible. Nobody will talk about it, but it is actually possible. It's possible to stay without watching pornography. It's possible to stay without masturbation. These days, I don't even think of masturbating again. There was a phase in my life where the thoughts would come and I would, be fighting off the phase. But now the thought doesn't even come. There was a phase in my life where I was struggling. When pornography come, I'll be struggling to weigh it off. I'll be there was a phase in my life where I was using some restrictions. I was setting boundaries. I won't watch movie. See, when you starve yourself of something, you would eventually get rid of it and lose interest in it. So now I can see a movie and nothing moves me. It's a testimony, or rather it is a sex-timony. It is actually a sex-timony. Because I am a man that has been helped. I am a helped man. Alright, okay, so the first part I spoke about how it happened. Now let's talk about how it happened, like how we got to that stage now. Let's talk about how I didn't penetrate. Because of course I've told you that there were, Okay. When I was sharing it, see, whenever I speak with my accountability partner, when I speak with my covenant brother, I don't hide anything. I tell them the way it is. I tell them, like, I narrate the whole scenario for them. And I tell them the responses that the young girl, and he was just laughing. And then he said some things, and encouraged me. Of course, rebuked me. Rebuke is always part of this accountability. So that you won't think that it is always sweet. I report myself and he rebukes me, then encourages me. So he was just laughing. Because there was a point, one of the girls was even asking me, do it now, do it. Oh no, this is not seduction. No. I'm talking about consent. Some of you are having sex without consent. I'm talking about full consent. So how did I get to that point? It's simple. How I got to the point of building a sexual discipline that, okay, no penetration, no. My penis will not enter your vagina. Is by setting mental blocks. I'll share a couple of mental blocks that works for me. You can share a couple of you can have your own mental. These mental blocks are not written upon tablet of stones. They are not sacrosanct. Okay, whatever works for you, whatever you think would work for you. Because remember, like I said, I said earlier on, your life goes in the direction that your predominant thought flows. Okay? So whatever you've been thinking about predominantly is what will happen. So one of the mental blocks I've been every morning, I tell myself, guy, no sex, so nothing, it won't happen. Whenever I think about it, because there are days that we sit on and then we have those thoughts of sex that we accommodate sometimes. I tell myself, no, we will not penetrate. We won't penetrate. We would stay like this. We would give you, even if we've messed up, this small fidelity that is remaining. I will package it and give it as a gift to my wife, and I'll tell her, baby girl, on my wedding day, on our wedding night, I'll tell her, baby girl, I haven't, entered in the last couple of years, in the last couple of months. Fidelity is a choice. Being faithful is a choice. And it starts when you are single. If you can build that sexual discipline when you are single, you will not have any issue when you are married. Don't worry. If you're listening to me and you're married and you're struggling with that, please go and listen to the podcast. Those married men shared a whole lot. And probably in the future we'll also get to talk about that. So, mental blocks. There are several other thoughts. Okay, there are several other thoughts I would share with you, but not in this episode, because right now I think I've dwelled on these two stories. I want to move on to talk about how there's a formula to sexual discipline. Actually, there is a formula to sexual discipline. It's a simple formula. It's called aid. Anybody that wants help will get help. It's an aid. Just think of aid. But this aid is not spelled AID. This aid is spelled AIID. The aid formula for sexual discipline. The aid formula for sexual discipline. A stands for avoidance. I stands for information. The second I stands for irritation. And D stands for dedication. What does this mean? Number one, avoidance. Make excuses. Learn to make excuses. Oh, let us see. Maybe the meeting is supposed to happen in a private place. Make excuses and don't show up. Because you know if you show up, something will happen. Yes. Make excuses and don't show up. Avoid the meeting. Avoid those situations that will encourage you to fall into that sexual temptation. Avoid it. Probably if you can have somebody around, whenever you're either she's visiting or you're going to visit, avoid it. There's no point even renting hotel. If she's coming to your house, avoid it. There's nothing wrong if it's okay, let us meet out, let us sit out. You are avoiding and you're setting boundaries. And also another way to avoid it, which I've spoken about, is what? Is your mental blocks. See, you can set boundaries that no girl will visit you. That's a boundary. You can set a boundary that, okay, if peradventure anybody visits you, there will be distance. You won't. If you have a chair, you maintain on your chair. Set boundaries. Currently, I had moved to a new city and I had to set a boundary, and I told myself, guy, I will not entertain female visitors. That's a boundary. I won't entertain female visitors. And I went further to say, I will not entertain female visitors that I'm having feelings for, or that are having feelings for me. That's a boundary. Do you get? It's a boundary. Once you just start noticing those things, set those boundaries. Another boundary you could set is, okay, I will not be speaking with this person beyond this certain time. I won't talk once. I won't talk with a particular young girl more than 1 hour, 2 hours. Speaking on phone, chatting with a young girl from 9 p.m. till 12 a.m. No, that's not boundaries. Feelings are definitely going to stir up. By the time people are talking whatever you're talking about, you may not know when you start having those sex chats. That's the truth. So avoidance. Second, information. Information talks about truth. Now, you should know this, that there are some information you should consume and there are some information you should avoid. Maybe I should have included this also in avoidance, but you see, there are actually some information you should avoid. Because you see, the way that your life works, there are some windows, there are some gateways, there are some entry points into your life. There are entry points into your life. Your life, see, your body receives information from what you see, from your 5 senses actually. Your 5 senses are your entry point into your life. Your eyes, the things you see, the things you watch, the things you hear, the things you taste, the things you perceive, the things you feel. So be careful of the signals. Be careful of the information you get. You should learn how to filter some information, especially now that we are in a social media TikToking world. There are some information that will actually corrupt your mind. That's the truth. Some of those information will corrupt your habits. And as much as you are trying to avoid having sex, you will still fall back into having it because you are consuming those informations. The informations come either in visual, that's written form, either in written form. They also come in visual form, that's video. They also come in audio forms. So be careful of the things and the informations that you receive. Okay? Go for truth. Read books. Go for truth. It is only the truth about that particular matter that can help you. Find truth and get wisdom's response to victory. That is truth. Hidden in every truth. This is how you can filter and know what is truth. Hidden in every truth is wisdom's response to victory. So if you cannot find wisdom's response to victory over that particular matter in your life, then it's not truth. There are 3 indicators to truth. Whatever is truth has these 3 indicators. Number 1, truth is correctional. Number 2, truth is instructional. And number 3, truth is inspirational. So you need to get information. You need to go for truth. Okay? Then the third formula is irritation. Irritation. Now it's as simple as the word irritating. Being disgusted. That's also a mental picture. There was a particular young lady, endowed. When I mean endowed, I mean 100% endowed. Packaged, beautiful, had everything, was even willing to give me whenever I wanted. But one of the ways I prevented it from happening was I just sat down and I began to make myself feel irritated about her. Like there was, you know how somebody can be so fine and spotless? So I'm so fine and spotless that there's nothing wrong. I had to find each time I was it's not easy. I won't tell it is easy. It is not something you do from a distance. You must do it by proxy. And of course when people are around. Just observe. Sometimes it may not even be something around her, within her. You know, you may even observe, maybe like for me, for her, I used her anger. I used her anger to become irritated. Like I had, remember this foundational truth. Your life will go according to the direction of the flow of your predominant thoughts. Wherever your predominant thoughts is, that's how your life will be. So I kept on thinking. So each time I would want to have daydream and fantasies about her. When those fantasies start coming, you know now, when those fantasies start coming, I would just immediately bring up the issue of this girl has anger issues. That's how I was able to get rid of that. So you have to create it. You have to see. But do you know that one of the ways that some relationships end is because of irritation? Irritation is a secret of broken relationship. How do I mean? You can see two people, and some of them they do it unconsciously. But now I'm teaching you how to do it consciously to save yourself. You can see two married couple or two people, they are so in love, and the next moment you know it, they are breaking up. Why? Because there is something the guy has seen about the girl that he doesn't like. Bam! That's it. And it is not like that thing was not there before he met her. But what happened? He dwelled on it. He noticed it. And this is a secret to building a successful and lasting relationship. Don't notice those things. Pay blind eyes and deaf ears to those things that would irritate you. If you're entering a relationship, enter hold her. Committed, whatever comes, just turn the other eye and don't pay attention to it. Oh, of course, there are signs there. There's a place of red flag. of course, but there's also a place of tolerating and accommodating and being compatible with somebody, because human beings are not perfect. So stop looking for anybody that is perfect. So you may find those flaws. If you want the relationship to be successful, you need to learn to accommodate and tolerate, ignore, endure those flaws. But when you start noticing it, you will get irritated by it. It is that irritation that builds up, and then you start disliking the person. You start growing attached of the person. That's it. So if you apply the same thing, to your sexual discipline, it will work. That girl you're crushing on, that girl that's having fantasies about you, find one thing. Find one thing. Probably it could be that she comes late for a meet for Yipo's appointment. You get, as irrelevant as that is, that can help you. That can help you build sexual discipline, so that whenever you think about it, you can quickly replace it. No. And it will irritate you. And the more it irritates you, the more that desire in you. Irritation is like a quench to fire. It quenches the burning fire in your bosom. So get irritated. Get disgusted. Okay, get irritated, get disgusted, have those mental pictures about it. You may not find disgusting things like her hair is smelling, she has smelling breath. You may not find those things. I'm just telling you. But you have to create other ones. Okay, so that's it. Finally, the final formula, which is D, dedication. So I've spoken about the AIID formula to sexual discipline. We have A, which is what? Avoidance. I, information. I, irritation. And D, dedication. Dedication means two things. Number one, being committed to a cause. And number two, being committed to a person. Or let me say it in this other way. Dedication means commitment to purpose and commitment to person. Your commitment to a particular purpose that drives your life and the goals and the vision you aim to achieve, and commitment to the people around you. These people around you, number one, should be your accountability partner. Of course, you're a guy, so you should have a covenant brother, someone you trust, someone you can always talk to, someone you can go and report to yourself, someone you can go and expose yourself to. The word I use is someone you can be vulnerable to. Guy, you need to learn how to be vulnerable. Being dedicated will require you being vulnerable. You need to be vulnerable. Expose yourself. Learn to be naked before your fellow guy and not be ashamed. Be naked and not ashamed about it. Now, I've told you about the aspect where I usually give account of myself after the act. But now, introduce another one, which is what I've been working on. Give account before it happens. When the thoughts come in, just carry your phone, bro. Have fun. There's this girl who just send a message. Hey, this girl, my body is doing me anyhow, and these are the thoughts that are going through my head. We are likely to meet. I beg, just help me check up on me. That has gone a long way. What that has done is that it has informed you that you're going to give account, you're going to report what happened. But even if you do not do that, please start from where you are. Life is not a rocket science. I'm being real and open to you. I did not start here. Okay, I started from the other side and I had to master and perfect it. See, it is not easy to be accountable. Sometimes you feel ashamed. Sometimes there are times that I've woken up by 12 a.m. in the night, and that's when my accountability partner is asleep. I'm like, guy, make I send this thing, I beg. Let me just send you the voice note. Let me just send you this voice note and get it off with. Because I don't want him to, because I'm shy. But guess what? I have to do it. Yes, to protect myself, to ensure that discipline. I have to do it. It's a requirement. These are the requirements for getting help. I have to do it. So, I tell him everything. Nothing hidden. You're exposing yourself. That's what it means to be vulnerable. Expose your weaknesses. Stop hiding it. The more you hide your weaknesses, the more it grows. Expose it. Be vulnerable. Talk. Stop piling up issues. Talk. Open up. Find someone and open up to. And please, whatever accountability relationship you will be entering, as a guy, don't enter it with a lady. Same sex. Enter with a fellow guy. A guy, see, there are days that are more, my sexual urges are heightened, and I'll just send him a message. I say, guy, I want to see how they do me, you see what thing they do me, you, and he will just laugh. He will just send me a voice and say, Anna, I understand, my guy. It has saved me. Trust me. It has saved me from many other mistakes that I would have probably done, because I'm not alone. And I refuse to be alone. See, I don't want to talk about this here, but let me just share this. Let me just say this quickly. You need to learn. Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. But you need to enjoy being alone. Okay? You need to enjoy being alone before you can now be in a relationship with a lady. What that means is, when you are alone, you need to learn how to build formidable relationships with people before you can now enter that lifelong relationship, because it is your relationship with your accountability partner, with your covenant brother, that will help you and will save you. That's the truth. It will help you and it will save you, because the quest of finding a life partner is not easy. Some ladies will turn you down. No. When they turn you down, you go back and you may be depressed. You need someone to talk to. Someone you can, should I say this? Okay, let me say this. There are some girls I had shot my shots in the past. Some of them, they gave me green light until the point that I don't know when the light now turned to red immediately. Some of them have led me on and broken my heart flat. In my language, they say mpa flat. I died. That means I died flat. Those days have been there. Their days have been rejected. Proposal failed. All my handsomeness, all my punchlines, catchphrases, toasting rhymes, it did not work. And I came back to him and said, guy, I must see the babe. I told him, before I even made the move, I showed him the girl. He saw the picture. When it did not work, I went back to him. Oh, and trust me, most guys are doing rebound. I never did any rebound. I took my time to recover. Stop doing rebound and recover. Probably you are in a relationship and that relationship has ended and it did not end well. Don't do rebound. In rebound, you will not heal. This is why you need an accountability partner. You guys will talk about these things. Share with him how you are feeling. It will help you heal faster. Accountability. Accountability exposes you to vulnerability. And being vulnerable is a fast treatment to the wound of heartbreak. Because you're vulnerable. You see ladies, they will talk about the guy that they ended a relationship with, and the next moment they are off, and you're now feeling bad. She has moved on. Do you know why she moved on? She moved on fast because she was able to be vulnerable fast. But we guys, we don't move on fast because we are not even vulnerable. We don't even talk about it. We keep those feelings. But the more you talk about those feelings, how you miss her, how you felt about it. You are releasing it, you're healing faster, you are treating that wound, and you realize that you've recovered and you're not doing a rebound. And when you're moving into your next relationship, you will not be entering with a past relationship. So you will not be moving with a past experience from your previous relationship. Why? Because while you were being vulnerable, you were able to see things from both sides. This is why it happened, how it happened. This is what you could have done to prevent it. That is the gift of accountability. That's the gift of dedication. Don't neglect it. Now that is being dedicated to a person. Now, being dedicated to a purpose means, guy, there's something you must be pursuing. Your life is not a roller coaster. You are on a destination. Or rather, you have a destination. You probably have a purpose to fulfill. You have an assignment. You did not come to this earth to occupy space. So there is a generic ability in you that your world is waiting for, and you have to release it. There's a generic gift in you that your world, your generation is depending on you to release. When you focus, when you stay focused on it, you will not be distracted. Dedication to your purpose will eliminate distraction. Dedication to your purpose will eliminate distraction. So every day you're making goals, plans for your life. This is where you want to be in the next 5 years. This is where you want to be in the next 1 year. These are the things you want to achieve in the next 3 years, and you're taking steps to achieve that. You will not get into the mess that most persons are. You will not even give the excuse of cold weather, because when there's cold weather, you are reading, you are studying, you are building capacity. You are building capacity. You're trying to influence the world positively. You're trying to make an impact, a lasting impact, that your name will be memorable, and your name will be remembered. So stay dedicated to a particular cause, a particular purpose. Let me wrap up with this. Okay. As I end, be valuable. And somebody who is valuable is not cheap. When you constantly allow yourself on the bed of sex with any girl, you reduce your value. Guy, let us be truthful. Will you want to marry a girl that every guy has slept with? The answer is what? You answer it for yourself. If you do, that's your cup of tea. But you see guys, I know us, I am your gender. We like that priceless one. So don't you think that your wife, the woman that you're going to get married to in the future, also wants that priceless you? Remain priceless for her. Remain priceless for her. It will be that plenty girls are tripping for you and they cannot get you. And on your wedding day, they're like, "Kai, this girl got him." And that they will never get you. It's not that when you now marry, you will now start misbehaving. It's a lie. Be valuable. Stop reducing your value. Do you know that the value of a product increases by reason of scarcity? When a product is scarce in the market, the demand increases, and when the demand increases, it is proportional to an increase in value. But when a product is always available, everywhere you see it, very soon it will reduce in value. Because it can be found anywhere. You cannot increase the price of that product. You can't, because the customers will become familiar with it. Everybody has it now. So they'll start pricing it, they'll start negotiating, they'll start haggling the prices. Is that what you want? that when you want to get married to a young girl, almost all her friends can attest to the fact that they've slept with you. Almost all her friends can attest to the fact that you've toasted them, that you've shot their shots. Rather that you shot your shot on them. Almost all their friends know your punchline. How about now? Be valuable. You are more than that. You are a king. Act like one. Don't go around chasing every girl. If you chase and she doesn't agree, take out time and re-strategize. Don't do rebound. Don't see. Rebound can either be done outside of relationship also. Don't do rebound because someone said no to you. It's a lie. Stop it. Be valuable. Don't stop having sex everywhere. Your private part is not a public community. It is private. It is called private parts and not public parts. Haba now. Haba. And I want you to also remember that your actions have consequences. That's the truth. I want you to think. I want to leave you with this particular thought. I want to leave you with these two thoughts. Number one, your actions have consequences. See, those consequences may be in the future. They may even be in the present. But your actions have consequences. I've been able to explain some of these consequences. I will not dwell on it. Number two thoughts that I want to leave you with. Whatever you give attention to is what you are encouraging. Whatever you give attention to is what you are encouraging. If you're giving attention to that girl, you are encouraging sleeping with her. If you're giving attention to pornography, you are encouraging being addicted. Whatever you give attention to is what you are encouraging. Run away from sexual engagement in any form. There are different forms of sexual engagement. Whether it is the one that you're just thinking about it, you were walking on the road and you turned your neck and you were just staring at her, or maybe you went and then in your head you've undressed her already. That's a form of sexual engagement. Or whether it is thoughts or whether it is behavior. Behavior is when you've done the act. There are several forms of sexual engagement. Let me mention four. I've mentioned two: thoughts, action, which is behavior. The other two is visual or written. Visual or written. When you're watching, these things produce the same effect. Visual, when you're watching it, pornography, run away from it, stay away from it. You're watching it. Now, some people don't even watch porn anymore. It's in, if you're struggling with pornography, you have no business watching a movie that has sex scene. That's visual. You also have no business watching a musical video with nudity or anything that conveys nudity. If you're struggling with pornography, stay away from it. Run away from it. It will produce the same effect that sex or the drive and the urges for sex would produce. It is stirring up something. The other form of sexual engagement is written. Run away, stay away from sex chats. Sex chats, call chats. It will produce the same effect. Or in case you don't know, thinking about sex, watching it, chatting about it, even talking about it with somebody you're not supposed to be talking about it with, using those perverse words, it can produce wet dreams. I have an episode on wet dreams, and I was able to debunk the mindset that some of you think that wet dreams is, you're the one that is making yourself to have wet dreams. Because it can also be controlled. There are several ways of controlling it. Number one, the way you sleep. Number two, your thoughts, what you were thinking of. So, remember what I said.
Sarah.
So remember what I said. whatever you give attention to is what you are encouraging. All right, guys. So that's where we're going to end today. I'm glad you got value from this podcast episode. In the month of November, 19th November to be precise, is International Men's Day. I'm just informing you ahead of time, and there's going to be a conference, okay? But as a flag off to that conference, I'm announcing it from now because we are going to begin publicity by next month. As a flag off for that conference, we're going to have a no sex, no alcohol challenge for 30 days throughout the month of November. No sex, no alcohol challenge. Okay. Now we would be pairing. We would be pairing everybody who is interested in joining. Now the challenge is definitely going to go public, okay? But for those people that would want to sign up for accountability, okay, you would want to be paired with an accountability partner. We are going to make that available because it's good to participate in challenge. It's also good to have somebody who you can hold accountable and somebody who can hold you accountable. So probably in case you want to, for the next 30 days, you want to break the addiction to masturbation or pornography. For the next 30 days, you want to stay free from sex. For the next 30 days, you want to stay free from alcohol. Trust me, I am actually anticipating it. I am waiting for it. My guys, we are waiting for it. So that's what we are going to do in the month of November. Okay. So if you are interested in being paired with an accountability partner, reach out to me via email. Okay, reach out to me via email, and I'll reserve a slot for you. So reach out to me via email. I'm going to read out my email address right now. I'll call it out so you can just reach out to me via email. I'll respond. Okay, so my email address is ANAINYANG01@gmail.com. That 01 is number 0, not ZERO. 0, just the number 0 and 1. I'll spell it again. ANAINYANG01@gmail.com. ANAINYANG01@gmail.com. So reach out to me via email. Just send me an email that you're interested. Just send my email with your name and your WhatsApp number, please. Your name and your WhatsApp number that indicating your interest to be part of the accountability part. To be part of being paired with an accountability partner for the no sex, no alcohol challenge coming up in the month of November 2022. Thank you very much. I wish you the best. Okay? Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. Till I come your way again next time, I remain your humble host, AI. Cheers.